What if your biggest failure isn't the end of your story, but the beginning of your testimony? Now, Peter denied Jesus 3 times, then became the rock of the early church. Could your greatest setback be setting you up for God's greatest comeback? Let's talk about one of the most powerful resurrection stories that often gets overlooked, Peter's resurrection. Now, before Easter morning, we have Peter's darkest moment. Luke chapter 22, 61 to 62 tells us, the Lord turned and looked straight at Peter. Then Peter remembered the word the Lord had spoken to him. Before the rooster crows today, you will disown me 3 times. And he went outside and wept bitterly. Can you imagine that moment? The eye contact with Jesus after your third denial. Peter, who had promised he would die for Jesus just hours earlier, couldn't even admit he knew him when questioned by servants. This wasn't just a mistake, it was a complete failure at the most crucial moment. If the story ended there, it would be tragedy, but Easter changes everything. John 21 records something remarkable. The reason Jesus appears on the shoreline while Peter is fishing, Jesus prepares breakfast and then asks Peter 3 times, do you love me? Each time Peter affirms his love, Jesus commissions him, feed my lambs, take care of my sheep, feed my sheep. This wasn't accidental at all. 3 denials, 3 affirmations. Jesus wasn't, rubbing it in. He was healing the wound by letting Peter speak new words over his failure. What's fascinating is that Jesus didn't just forgive Peter. He recommissioned him. Despite Peter's catastrophic failure, Jesus still saw him as the rock on which he would build his church. This is resurrection power applied to human failure. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead raised Peter from the ashes of his shame. In Acts chapter 2, we see the transformed Peter boldly proclaiming Christ before thousands. The same man who couldn't acknowledge Jesus before a servant girl now fearlessly preaches him before multitudes. This Easter story teaches us something profound. Your failures don't disqualify you from God's purposes. They often prepare you for them. Peter's failure crushed his self-sufficiency and prepared him for true dependence on God. Maybe you are carrying the weight of past denial, past failure, past shame. Easter whispers that your story isn't over. The same Jesus who restored Peter waits on the shoreline of your failure with forgiveness and fresh purpose.